Hey, folks. We're back again.
Oh, hello again.
Still catching up with Ant on Games Week, and we're playing through some stuff. And this time it's a little more modern, of sorts, shock horror. As we've got my Switch plugged up, and we've got Flashback Classics running, and we're playing Fire Truck, which is one of those really early Atari arcade games, like late 70s-ish, which you remember actually playing.
I actually am that old that I remember playing this in the arcades.
Nice. I haven't played it at all. Most of the time I've played the other driving games like Monte Carlo and stuff. I really love Monte Carlo, which is also in this pack.
Is it a good pack?
Yeah, I think it's worth
Flashback
it.
Pack? Yep.
Yeah, the downside is... Alright, so I'm driving, you're on the rear seat. And then...
What are my controls? Wait.
You basically push the stick in a direction.
Yep.
So you sort of like
Yep.
push up to up. Let's see how far we go. But yeah, I think the pack's worth it. Unfortunately, like, it didn't come out here in Australia, so I had to actually import the physical cartridge. Which... Oh, no! No.
What is happening?
I think with Jackknife, you'll have to...
How do I unjackknife? There we go.
But yeah, the pack didn't come out in Australia, even digitally, wow. So I had to import this from the States.
Yeah.
Which was fun, because the first time I did it, it was an eBay, buy it now kind of deal. The guy cancels the transaction shortly after.
Oh.
And refunds. It's like, why? Your thing didn't say either he didn't have it or wasn't willing to post to Australia, even though the listing said. So, but I found someone else who had it and, got it. And of course then...
We went off-road. Is that possible? We're the worst firefighters ever. It's so hard to swing this around. I'm trying very hard to... Is it just literally left and right?
No, it's like you push in a direction. So, like, to go up, you push up.
Why am I... Do I have to push up, though?
I presume you've got to just sort of tilt in sort of the back direction. Let's...
Oh, yeah, I got it.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Score 40. We are terrible. Start 2-player.
Did I mention that I played this, like...
40.
It must have been about 40 years ago. Maybe even more. Maybe 41, because I was very young when I played it as well.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'm just as... Like I said, I've played some of the other driving games here. Like, I really love Monte Carlo, which is one I hadn't heard of before playing this pack. So I'm just as terrible a driver, don't worry. In fact, I'm worse, because I'm...
Well, you are the driver. Oh, this is... Got this part. Whoa, we're flying.
It's such a unique twist on co-op, which you got to really give them props for doing that. Back in...
I just wonder, like, am I impacting your driving?
I think.
Am I adding momentum to your?
I think so.
Or inertia to your driving.
Yeah, like it might be impacting how I...
It might be impacting your steering in some way.
Yeah, so I noticed when we were playing early in that previous run where it got a fair bit out of sync, like the jackknife, I couldn't sort of turn far enough.
Yeah, this is basically this is Fast and the Furious. This is what we're doing here.
Fast and Furious 78.
Yeah, that definitely impacts you if I swing out like that.
Yeah, because I couldn't turn to camera.
Yeah, isn't it interesting?
So
does that mean I have to go the other way?
Yeah, you probably got to keep the... So. Hey, we're doing better.
That's all right.
Yeah.
But what I loved, because you got the sort of the decals on the side there, which was on the arcade machine. And I just remember, because the arcade machine you sat in a configuration, I think the driver was in the front and you were in the back and you had effectively a steering wheel. You both had a steering wheel. So it was very, very tactile and very much like those cabs that were built like that. It was really an experience. You lived it like you were like you were in a fire truck. It was great. It actually gives me the same sort of feelings with the sit-in cab for Star Wars.
Oh yes, that's a good setup.
Where you are in it and you're part of it. Or later with things like any of the hydraulic racing games like Outrun. Or then, Afterburner. G-Lock.
Oh, yes. Have you ever sat in the R360 for that?
I watched it, I saw it.
But you never sat in. I saw it, but I was too young to even...
I was too scared because I was just like, am I going to vomit?
Yeah, no, that's a fair concern.
Am I going to throw up?
That's a fair concern.
I used to like watching people in it, though.
I imagine it, like, I remember seeing it in an arcade once, but I was too young to play it. Oops. Press A to honk. If I was going to give the video a silly title, that would probably be what it is.
Press A to honk. How topical.
Yes. You know, Goose Game did get a bunch of awards at this year's Australian Game Developer Awards, which was, as we're recording, was last night. So, shout out to them. I've really got to sit down and play for like 30 seconds. There we go. We're doing all right now. We can put out fires. We can save the day.
Yeah, you never actually put any fires out in
No,
this game.
It's like eternal driving to put fires out. And that may be for the best.
Well, see, what happened there? That was just weird.
Yeah, I think I must...
It's strangely involving, given how simple it is.
Yeah. I mean, I think part of it is also just the way that the controls are translated.
Yeah.
Because of course, you were saying that the original arcade game has steering wheels.
Yeah, so it was.
Whereas
it was analog, so.
Yeah, so whereas the way they've implemented on Flashback Classics for the Switch, and of course Flashback Classics Vol 3 on PlayStation, Xbox does me not turning, is that you basically use the analog stick as like a direction. So to turn to face right, I've got to push the stick right. So you're sort of like skirting around the outside of the directional range.
Yeah.
Hey, so 90. Oh, we're halfway towards the bonus, the extended time.
Oh wow.
Let's give it another run. Right, start to play.
And this is good. Like the arcade, it's a quick game.
Yeah, you sit down.
You keep going to run out of fuel.
Yeah, it's a nice simple mechanic that's challenging.
Holy.
You know. That classic Atari maxim of easy to learn, hard to master.
Yeah.
You know, there's something that says for that in, you know, the days of like epically long open world collect fests. As chilling as as relaxing as some of those are, you know, I think we've both talked about Mad Max being
absolutely.
like surprisingly calming.
Yeah, and I finished the Shadows of Mordor.
Oh, nice.
Whichever one it was, the first one I think, or whatever. And again, very much like Mad Max, you do all the side quests and you get so powerful that you kind of just cruise through everything else, which isn't bad. It's actually sort of quite nice.
It's a nice reward.
That was terrible. That was my fault. Can I honk? Sad. I can't honk.
Imagine if you could. We'd go honk crazy. Honk honk. It's just such a subtle...
See, it's just such a simple game. There's no traffic on the road. There's oil to avoid. That's about it. There's oil slicks.
Yeah.
And that's it. But
it's really compelling.
It's strangely compelling, even in this fashion, without the actual
cabinet
or anything like that.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, that's sort of the thing, you know, like... one of these things I sort of want...
100 points.
Hey!
We got
we're getting
figures.
there.
That's
we're
great.
Getting there.
That's great.
There's sort of a thing where one of the things I think about, you know, because I think a lot about, you know, where retro games fit in more and more. Like, I hate the fact that it's like, it's, you know, I always think about, you know, you think about movies and, you know, for example, I think of, it's probably easier because I have favourite movies that are older than me, you know, Alien, Star Wars, other stuff like that predates me.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not seen as weird that I go and watch those movies.
Yeah.
Whereas it's still seen as weird that, you know, that I'm playing older stuff. And I feel part of that's like the accessibility factor. Like, you know, watching Star Wars is easy. You can buy it on Blu-ray. You can buy it digitally. You know, it'll get a cinema run. I mean, I think they've been running the movies on TV in the lead up to Episode 9.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, for this Fire Truck, it's like legitimately, until this compilation came out, you couldn't really play this game legitimately.
Yeah, I was very surprised when you suggested Fire Truck, because I'm like, what? You can play it?
Yeah, I mean...
It exists?
Yeah, so, I mean, it was... You know, I've got a pretty good memory, like a long-term thing. So we'd had conversations with a friend of ours and come up, and And this had come up, and like you'd mentioned this, and then it was like, oh yeah, that's on the third, flashback, the third Flashback Classics volume that's on PlayStation, Xbox, and of course the one for Switch and Vita, and it's like, we should do that.
Yeah.
And that was, I can't remember if that was earlier this year or last year.
That was
even.
terrible.
Yeah, we did not do well then. Let's do one more.
One more.
All
right.
But yeah, so it came up and sort of like honk.
Maybe that's a problem. We need to honk more.
Seems to work for the goose.
Oh, we were flying then.
That sounds really dangerous. An old-timey fire engine's careening down the road at that speed.
And I like the monochrome graphics and
yeah,
and all that. Now, I can't even remember if the actual screen was like the landscape, if that was actually digital.
Ooh.
Or if it was actually painted on, and it was just like a moving thing. I can't quite remember.
It would probably it would be like actual graphics.
Yeah, I think it had to, because this is going sideways and stuff like that. So I think it had to.
So of course there's like, this is, I can't remember if this. So in Flashback Classics there's 3 of these games. There's this, there's Superbug, and then there's Monte Carlo. And I think Superbug was first. And then this adds the 2-player thing, and then Monte Carlo went to color and had multiple courses. So that's me turning late. That's me being terrible. This is like... And it's like the thing, the thing with packs like this is just really good to see these games out there.
Yeah.
Out in the open for everyone to enjoy. Which is why it's a bit of a shame that...
Oh, we almost broke 100.
Almost. Let's...
You reckon we can do it?
I reckon we can do it. Maybe if we don't talk as much. Alright, start your player, let's go.
Serious fire trucking.
Yep. I really like to take my foot off the gas at some point. I think that's been helping a bit too.
Is that like a fire hydrant?
I think that was a car.
A car?
That was a
okay,
car.
Alright.
So yeah, we just ploughed into a car.
So there are other vehicles.
Just parked in front of someone's house. So it's like static cars, not actual road threats. But then again, look how small they are. Maybe they aren't. Oh dear.
Nice dodging that oil. Good work.
Oh yes. Lucky I kept the speed down. And of course, you've got the threat of like, not missing the fork in the road. You don't want that to happen. It's like Chase HQ. Where it's like you suddenly get all the extra.
Sorry, I was doing a bit of Tokyo drifting there.
We're gonna crack 100. Let's crack 100. Oh.
No, can't do it.
We can't do it. But hey, we did all
100
right.
is good.
100 is good.
Great.
It's it's really interesting to sit down and play this properly.
I never thought I'd be playing this game on the Switch.
It's a unique thing. Like the Switch has been a really good platform for stuff of late, like stuff like this, the SNK 40th collection, which of course has now jumped onto PlayStation, I believe, Xbox as well, and so many other, the Arcade Archive series. There's a lot, and also the Konami Castlevania and arcade game collections. There's a lot of great stuff coming out. It's a great platform for like indie stuff, retro revival stuff.
Yeah.
It's something. It's a system I really enjoy for that. And so hopefully other folk will, take the chance to check out its great library as well.
Absolutely.
So I reckon we'll leave it there. So
Yep.
Thank you all very much for watching.
Thanks for reminding me how old I am, Rob. Really appreciate that.
Hey, I
so very old.
I date myself by being as old as a VIC-20. So
Good.
Although I'm padding my 64 because the VIC-20 is elsewhere. So yeah, thank you all very much, and
thanks everyone.
thing, and we'll catch you on another one of these soon.
Honk.